Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about your emotions are trying to tell you something. So, if you feel a bit off, if you feel like things are not working for you, if you just have like this underlying feeling that you're not living up to your full potential, or life just isn't very satisfying to you, it's not what you've always wanted it to be, it's you feel confused about life in some way, you feel like you're living Groundhog Day every single day. So what are your emotions trying to tell you, and how can you essentially get better, right? How can you turn this around, basically? How can you start to feel better about yourself? How can you start to make things work? How can you start to make life work better for you? Okay, so these are some things that can help if you are feeling out of sorts, if you do feel like something is amiss, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is, if your life isn't satisfying to you, you can change it. You can make it so. So whether it's to do with your work, whether it's to do with your family life, it could be like your side projects that you may have. It could be just life in general. If your life isn't satisfying to you, you can make it so. You can change it. You can change your attitude about it. So when it comes to your work, you may be feeling a bit burnt out. But how can you get yourself inspired again? There's a way, I'm sure you know ways in which you can inspire yourself. Perhaps it's listening to a piece of music. Perhaps it's listening to your favorite podcast of your favorite motivational speaker. Perhaps there are some things that make you feel more inspired, that make you feel better about life in general. A lot of people have these things, these muses that really do help with that kind of situation. So if your life doesn't feel satisfying to you, try and find ways to make it more satisfying. Okay, so let's say, oh yeah, I really hate answering my emails. I really hate doing that. Is there a way that you can make it more fun for yourself? Like perhaps you have a hot tub and you just then decide to answer your emails in your hot tub. Or perhaps you go outside and answer your emails because you like being outside because it makes you feel more peaceful. Perhaps you listen to a piece of music that you really like while you're answering emails or something like that. There are ways that you can pick the things out of your life that you don't like, that you find tedious, that you hate doing, and try and make it into something that does actually feel good. So then when you have to do it, you actually feel drawn to do it. You actually want to do it. So for example, I hate washing up. I think it's the worst thing ever. Hate doing it. I wish we had a dishwasher, like so badly, right? I just hate doing the washing up. I think it's disgusting. I hate it, and I don't like the icky food that gets to the bottom of the drain. It's like picking it out. It's like, that's just nasty. It's just nasty, right? I hate doing it, but I can do it better, and I enjoy doing it more if I can listen to a podcast or something like that, or if I listen to a lecture, or I listen to some really nice music. Like I can find a way to make that task that I hate better, right? And that's what you got to do with most of these things in life that you find are unsatisfying to you right now. So another thing that can really help is to practice big picture thinking. So what I mean by this is that, for example, you hear a lot about people that have more big picture thinking after they've had like a near-death experience. Like, I don't know if you've listened or watched any people that talk about near-death experiences, but usually they go to this place, this other world, whether that be heaven or some other kind of like ethereal place after they've died. And you can believe but there's a lot of different beliefs as to why people have those experiences. Some people think, oh yeah, it's because there's stuff going on in that person's brain while it's dying, and they're seeing all these things. And some people believe that they actually have gone to the afterlife, and so there's different opinions on that. But basically, when they go to this afterlife, they usually speak to a loved one, or they speak to God, or they speak to some other kind of deity, and they're giving like they're having these talks and these discussions with these people on the other side. And when they come back into their body, when they've been resuscitated or whatever it is that's happened to them with their physical body, they have more of a bigger picture, and they no longer let the tedious things about life bother them, right? Because they know that they've seen the afterlife, they've seen what happens after you die. It was actually not a bad experience, so they don't care as much about what happens in their life too much. Yeah, sure, they're still carrying on with their earthly duties. They still go to work. They still take care of their kids. They still do this, that, and the other. right? But they no longer let these little things bother them, right? They're not bothered so much about the angry person that they drove by in traffic. They're no longer bothered by if their boss is a little bit nasty or whatever by that. They just let it go. They just let it be. And, you know, sometimes that's a really good way of living, right? Just trying to live more peacefully and just letting life be life. You know, yeah, you know, that your boss is angry because your boss is stressed about having to be in charge all the time. Bosses are going to be angry sometimes, right? You know, if you hate the fact that you can hear your children screaming in the garden or something like, yeah, the children are going to scream. They're children. That's what children do, right? You know, so they no longer have that. They never let let these little things get to them anymore because they're practicing the big picture thinking. They're like, you know what, these things just happen because these things happen, and yeah, I'm gonna change the things that I can change, but I'm gonna let go of those things that I can't change because, you know, there's not really a lot I can do about it because I can't change it, right? So they practice this big picture thinking, and that can sometimes be really helpful if your emotions are telling you something is off. Like maybe it's just time to just sort of relax, just be at peace. Yeah, sure, continue to do your worldly duties, but do it in a more peaceful, relaxed way. You don't have to be stressing so much about everything. You can do things in a more zen sort of way, right? You don't have to be stressed and going fast and trying to make life go faster, essentially. You can take your time and just take time to look around and be and to contemplate and not make things so stressful. That option is always available to you, right? So another thing that can help is to learn to let it all be, right? So there's that song by the Beatles, you know, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. You know, that's always available to you to just, you know, let it be. You know, if there's, like I said, like previously, you know, if there's a situation that you can't change, there's nothing you can do. You can't change it. So if you can't change it, then just let it be, right? You can do what you can to improve it, to make it better if you can. If you know that there's a way, if you feel like there's something you can do, then sure, by all means do it. But sometimes you just have to let things be, right? And just just let life be as it is, right? And just try to live a more peaceful existence, right? And I find that to be a very easy thing to do, and to choose that option, because you can always, that option is, like I said, is always available. So just try to learn to let it all be. If things aren't working out right now, if let's say you're not getting the money in your life, is not coming in the way that you want it to, your job is not going in the way that you want it to, maybe your side hustle isn't going in the way that you want it to, just let it be. Just continue your work. Just continue to do the things that you do, but don't worry so much about the outcome. Just do what you can. Try and be inspired and try and be uplifting. Try and be nice to people. Try and be kind. Try and do the best that you can. Try and help as many people as possible. Try and do your work in the best way that you can. You know, and love your family as much as you can. And just let go of the outcome for a while. Don't be living in the future, like trying to make all these things happen. Just let it be for a while. Just try and do your best. And what's the weird thing, the weird dichotomy of that is that when you do that, when you let go, when you care less, essentially, about the outcome, that's when results seem to happen, because you're actually being more productive. You're doing things in a better way. Okay? So the next thing that can really help, and the last thing that I want to talk about, is to forget about other people's opinions. Forget about them, whoever they is to you. Forget about who it is you're trying to impress on Instagram. Forget about who you're trying to impress on Facebook. Forget about trying to impress your boss or trying to impress your co-workers or whatever it may be. Forget about those opinions that for so long have mattered so much to you. Just let it go and work on your dreams. Just focus on you for a while. Work on the things that you want to work on. Don't worry about how it looks, right? How it looks doesn't matter. What matters is how it feels. Right? Because if you decorate your house and make it look absolutely amazing, make it look absolutely wonderful, because you're doing so because that's what other people have said that looks good, it's not going to feel good to you. Yeah, it's going to look good, but does it feel good? Does it feel good to you? Don't worry about other people's opinions and how it looks good to other people. Focus on how it looks to you. And now you don't have to just use that about furniture. You can use that about anything. With the work that you do, for example. How you raise your children, how you treat your partner, how you do your work at work. You don't worry about how other people think that you should be doing things. Just do it in the way that you feel is best and what feels right to you. Go by your own instincts. Go by your own instincts and work on your dreams. Forget about their opinions and just work on what you want to work on. Go listen to your inner calling. Do the things that you want to do that makes your life pleasing to you. Okay? And that will make you feel a lot better about life, and that will make you feel a lot more peaceful. So focus on you. Forget about them. So thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.